Give it a try.
Again?
Yeah. Or you want me to? Okay. Fine. Let's go ahead and start with the typical. Get the blood flowing a little bit. So get on your knuckles. And 10. Breathe out on the way down. Breathe in on the way up. Push-ups, obviously those are done as relaxed as possible. Try and shut off as most of your muscle groups as possible. Squats, 10. You want to do 5?
10's over.
Okay. All right, breathe out on the way down, breathe in on the way up. So as your chest is collapsing, you want to get rid of that air. Keep your back straight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We can do crocodile. We can do a little spider, and we can do rolls a little bit. Just slow motion. Slowly roll this way, roll that way, kind of rolling around the target. Okay, let's go from here, crocodile, all the way to that end. Okay. Spider. Put your leg crisscrossed where your hand is. So, like so. Try and keep a visual of what's going on around. Okay. Going to do some rolls. Straight rolls, short ones, all the way to the end, and then rolls backwards, all the way to the end. Okay. Just longer area. Okay. Again, same thing. Right side. Left side. Okay. Getting up. Let's say you end up in a position like this. What's the easiest way to get up? Most different. How's that?
That's easier.
Okay. Now, if you grab a hold of your knee and go this way, okay, lay down. Now grab a hold of your knee, either one, with your hand. Okay, now push out with your leg down and pick yourself up. Okay? So, and then keep going in a, like a bicycle pattern, like you're, okay. gentlemen. Sit. Lenny?
Yeah.
Here. Okay. Alright. Because for getting up, usually it's easier to do it in a rotating motion. Right?
Right.
So as you're helping yourself up, keeping your let's call it done for the exercises like this, or you want to do something else?
No.
Feel like you're flexible now? You need to go?
I'm relaxed.
Tenderized? Okay. Alright. Let's
Okay.
actually go ahead and start. Just get there. Head, face, all that stuff. Working on the wrists maybe as well. So now the wrist, there wasn't any. Feel when you get the resistance. You can just watch my shoulders. As soon as the shoulders start moving, that means you've reached that point of resistance as well. Okay. And then the resistance, back on the hands. You feel resistance all the time.
Right.
You're walking. So then just twist it a little bit. Walk. Now it's locked. Right? So now I can try and work those points. See, it's different when it's locked. Right? So, if I'm going down, right? So I'm going out to the side and down. Feel that? What difference? See, as it's locked.
That's locked.
Versus like this, or like this, or you want to actually give that nice pivot point right there. Right? Okay. So, same thing, test the different ranges, right? So this is this, but you can also go here, right? You can also go here, you can also, see how it's still locked? It's actually giving me a little bit more. So versus here, you have to give a lot more movement. So if you happen to lock it in, it's a lot less movement to get them to the same point, right? Versus a lot more, so an extra 3 inches.
You still can use the arm.
Depends. I mean, if you mean, oh, in this way you can't
Cannot. Yeah.
much,
Right.
right?
Like as much.
And again, you're going to hear, if all of a sudden you feel that this is too much, you switch to something else.
Right.
Yeah, if this didn't work, well, now all of a sudden you can go back here. Now you can come around, you know, one of those ways. So remember, this is what I said. Each movement should be, you know, if you're moving your leg, why not here? Yeah, you're here, now your hands right here. Why not? Maybe, yeah. So every motion, if I'm going here, why not hit at the same time that I'm going over here, right? If I'm stepping over this way, why not at the same time hit right there as I'm moving over? This locks in the joints. Click, 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 all the way down until, see, as soon as you see his legs start moving, that means his legs are locked in as well. See? Just a little bit of a motion. Motion. The other way, oh, there it is. Same way for, I'm going crisscross this hip to this shoulder this way. I'm going this way, going the opposite. Going from face, back, going from face, back, turn, and back. And you want to go ahead and get your hands accustomed to also, you know, if you're, normally it doesn't feel right, but once you're used to it, I mean, this works actually very dramatic to just grab them like that and drop them down. Right, Jim?
Yep.
Eyebrows, nose itself, the chin. As you're going off to the side, the arm back here creates that pivot point on the hip. Or the leg creates another pivot point by the knee, right there. So if you're going this way, you might want to kick right here as well. This is kind of that 6 points. What are we doing? We're looking for those levers. Right? Because in this particular case, again, as I'm going off this way and using this, well, where's the lever? From here all the way up to here, right? At the same case, if I went right here, there's that same lever, it's just even taller, you know? Shoulder to hip, shoulder to hip. The other arm, same thing as what we did on the other side. And you're not just going, okay, and that's it. You're looking for the entire range of motion. If you can go up with it and back, see how I'm locking in mine right there? His is stationary, pivot point right here. This is the lever. It's locked in right here. So I'm pushing on him, who is also locked in all the way down. So in essence, what am I doing here? I'm basically taking this and turning it like you would a meat grinder, except I got this portion locked in. So where I can put a lot of my weight over on his shoulder as he is already disbalanced. Plus I can add a little bit more of a kick and make that lever shorter, not to the floor but to the knee. Okay. Also, same thing from this side, because you don't want to be, let's say, very well versed how to do it from here and then get over here and not know what you're doing, or get over here and not know what you're doing, or only be able to work like this, you know, from straight ahead. We don't want any of that. Okay. you're not necessarily trying to make him fall down right now. Let's say we're gonna get Jim close to falling down, and we just bring him right back. You know, bring him close to falling down, and then bring him right back. And what we want to do is we want to see where those points actually are. See, close to falling down, bring him right back. We can do grabs and releases, remember like we did earlier, and then switch over into 6 points, full 6 points, overthrown, and then we can do a little bit of resistance. Okay, we do that. So go ahead and you start then, or I start. Well, I'm good.
Alright, so what we're going to do is take a look at grasps and how to relieve yourself from being grasped and how to react when that happens, using their energy and transferring it back to them if possible.
What do we have here? We have levers, again, that we're looking at. For one, see what we did here was we locked, by bringing Jim down, we locked his knees, we locked his arms in this position. Now by the virtue of pushing one and the other, if you all pay attention to his knees, what's happening there? This one is pushing up, this one is pulling down, and then bringing him around. So here we have one lever that's pulling, another lever, because of him going disbalanced, he wants to grab onto that so he doesn't lose balance, psychologically speaking. So right here, he feels like he's got a hold of something, but right here on this arm, I'm creating kind of a tension where I'm feeling where I'm bringing him down. Now I'm giving him something to pry himself on. So he, in essence, right here, he is pried on this point, and this is the pivot that allows me to raise this arm and create one massive lever that rotates the rest of him and the rest of those levers. Same scenario basically, except here I can step back and basically do the same thing with my shoulders, or I can go ahead and use a shorter lever. In this case, I have to use more strength because I'm working closer to his body. So in this case, this one goes down, this one comes up. Here he is already basically disbalanced. We can either lock it in right here and take a step off to the side, and here's that other one, or we can use a shorter lever. Rather than here, we'll lock him in here, bring him closer, which by the virtue of basically, if you all look, watch his legs and watch his posture. When I go here, stop, look what kind of position he's taking, right? So I either brought him over this way, or by the virtue of me bringing his elbow in, look at his position, it's identical, without me really moving. Now, in order for me to actually get the strength to push him a little bit more rather than using a lot of might, all I have to do is do a little short step. Okay. And again, do not take this as dog. Alright, so he is in the choking position. You can hear I'm having trouble talking. If I'm holding my face straight, I'm being choked. As soon as I turn my head sideways, that choking is no more, right? At this point, I can lock in his thumbs, basically bring him my way, use the wrists right here as a pivot point, and then with a twisting motion, basically drop him to the ground. Same thing, please. So in that same fashion, we can also lock these points together and basically do the same thing here. Normally, again, do not take this as dogma, because in the ideal situation, as you're already being grabbed, you're already starting to move, right? So as you're starting to move, don't just limit yourself by this. You know, you might want to give them a hit somewhere, and then come in and basically, so you need to know the root, you need to know the foundation. This is what the exercise is about. More than likely, in this just pure way, it might not work, because he's also going to plan, because he's seeing you're doing something, he's going to react accordingly. So see, now he's reacting accordingly. He let that one loose, but he left this one here unchecked, right? He's busy now controlling this side of things, which in essence, he goes down again. Again, this is not dogma. You are to understand how this works. Okay. There's the other choke. Again, so right off the bat, it could be beneficial to kick. Note what happened to his structure. His attention also went to his leg. From here, same scenario as it was before. Again, same one. Same thing as you're going, like you're scared. You might want to give him that kick, right? Don't fall down in a prognosed way. Just kind of feel which way. I mean, I realize you're not supposed to. Go ahead and right now do resistance, because that comes later. So we're doing compartmentally. But don't try and guess which way I'm going to drop you before. Just kind of go with what I'm, or vice versa, right? Same thing. So right here, as let's say we're kicking him this way, take a look at what develops here. We have the chin here, we have the shoulder here. As the chin starts to come up, basically same identical thing. We're working mainly on this lever right here. Okay? Same thing again. It's just showing you a lot of variations, but again, don't consider this dogma. If we go here and we go ahead and kick up at the knee, same effect. So again, you see how this works, rather than follow my movement or move. There's no moves. Okay? There's the lever, there's the lever. I'm working one to the one side, another one to the other side, and then working on the hips, working on the shoulders. In one case, we were working on the chin. Something else. Well, what do we have here? We have something where we can do either with an impact, right? Or we can come right back and around again. Because he is already standing in the locked position, right? How'd that feel? Something else? Okay. These are all stationary positions. In other words, static. So if he were grabbing me, there would have been a movement and energy would have come from him to me. Now that we're standing and just doing this like this, then there's not. So if I go this way and lock him in this way, go ahead and just start dropping, and there he goes. In this sense, what happened here? Jim, can you describe it?
Yeah, you used your own lever, which is your own arm, to lock in my wrist to create a second lever, which lock me.
How about this one here?
This one here is my false sense of security that's allowing me to hold on just long enough for you to let go.
He thinks that he's got some sort of a grasp for just that split second, like, aha, I'm still holding on to something. Well, that something is pretty much not there, really. Just an illusion. Okay, something else? Okay, this one here, common grab. Again, same thing with the neck. You hear me starting to talk a little bit horsey. You can either pull your head off to the side, and then he puts more tension, right? Or you can grab a hold of this elbow here, right? And now what do we have? We have one lever. We have possibly another piece that we can use. We have another lever right here. We have the whole body standing straight for the moment, right? And then we have the legs back here. So without really even seeing what's happening, you can kind of work and see the system. So if I were to go ahead and pull down here, grab a hold of his hair, and then use this as a lever if he's got hair. If he's a bald guy grabbing you, that creates a bit of a difference. So here we can go ahead and do the same thing as we have his arm. Another variation is basically you hit this up. I let him go without using much strength to it, but if it wasn't Jimmy and it would be some bad guy, he would be going face down into the floor, which is the outcome that you want anyway. Something else? Maybe whatever. Whichever one you feel that's right. Okay, there's the lock. Okay, now I feel somebody grabbing me from here. Again, it's the same notion. We're getting him disbalanced. I mean, you can feel if somebody's behind you, their initial grab is going to be one where they are balanced and trying to get you disbalanced, right?
Right.
What you have to do is step off to the side. See, like this one here, he's balanced and he's trying to get me unbalanced. Go ahead. Move. Oh. See, now he's holding me in an unbalanced position. My prerogative, this right here, is a painful move, quote unquote, out. It's supposed to be working on the joint. If the joint is relaxed, you can work on that, have somebody actually push on it, and you just relax and there's no pain here. For one, here's where he is going off balance himself. Okay, where he locked it in. If I go ahead and take a step behind him, you see how disbalanced he is now? I can either go here or usually it might be a problem if you do not release that hand. How can you release it? Just by the virtue of hitting up and then bring him down. Two things were bringing him down. My elbow pushing down on his, right here. It was this. And then the other was my hand on the space. 2 points. Same thing if you remember. Now, when you're dropping them, try and keep a hold of that hand. If you do have an ability to grab a hold of the hand, that is absolutely crucial, because you still have control. The problem is, your eyes, they do not get information back and forth as quickly as your nervous system does. So, I mean, this already, there's a reaction, right? The eyes might not have even seen that. So, if you're in a fight, try and keep some sort of a contact, right? So if it's multiple opponents, you still want to keep contact, but from one to the other, and then we're using geometry. But the ideal thing is you want to just like be sticky, be stuck to them, right? Okay, something else? We have the head here, and there's that lever. Because he's locked in, at some point the muscular system does not allow further motion, right? It just locks in, boom, one giant stick. Okay. Okay. What do we have here? We can just balance him this way and keep him coming around and bring him back down. Or this is kind of an awkward one for the moment. You can, if you can, get the ability to jerk it around. What do we do here? This was in kind of a motion like I'm trying to get away, which normally would make somebody want to hold on a little bit more, right? As I'm bringing him down, there's his elbow right here. And this is acting now as the pivot point is on the elbow and on his foot. And this is just the lever to drop him down. Okay? You want to switch out, or you want to keep doing a little bit more?
Let's take a break.
We can do that. Pause. Break time.